next summer. One more game, Norway here at Hampden. National anthems. The Norwegian fans off to our left in good voice, maybe around 1,000 of them, not quite, in the section off to our left. There will be a raucous noise inside Hampden for Flower of Scotland.
Thank you very much. A very big thank you to
a really nice touch there as the Piper simply held his back to the side and the fans took you through the second verse. The handshake's about to take place. The pitch going to be cleared of all the advertising slogans and banners and the archway down there. The handshake's taking place. The preliminaries will finally be over, and this one remaining qualifying tie will get up and running within the next couple of minutes. It's Norway here at Hampden to take on Scotland, who of course have already qualified for the finals. Big night ahead of celebrations. That to come first. 90 minutes of football. Can Scotland finish off in a manner befitting the rest of the campaign? More to come from Tom English. Leanne will be back with us later. Right now, full live commentary. Scotland against Norway here on Sports Sound and BBC Radio Scotland with Craig Levine, Willie Miller and Liam McLeod.
Well, Richard, it's been just about the perfect campaign. As far as Scotland are concerned, it doesn't get much better. It can't get much better. And the only way it would have done is if they'd won every single match, including the away game against the top seeds, which was always going to be a tall order. As John McGinn picks up the Norwegian pennant, hands it over to the coaching staff, the backroom team, and joins his teammates. And the tournament itself starts on the 14th of June in the Allianz Arena in Munich. Just wonder if Scotland will be involved in that one against the hosts Germany. We'll find that out when the draw is made in less than a fortnight in Hamburg. Just about ready to go. The Norwegian players have gone into a huddle off to the right. Some smoke billowing across from the pre-match pyrotechnics that we saw, the fireworks, the flares. It was quite a sight for the two sides as they walked out there. How the Norwegians will lament those two late Scotland goals in Oslo, because if Norway hang on and win 1-0, this would have been a high-stakes shootout. Can Scotland finish on a positive note? It has been the most positive of campaigns against the Norwegian side that can't even come through via the playoffs. It will be Norway in the red tops, white shorts, white socks, kicking from right to left towards the west end of the stadium. And the first pass goes back the way for Ostergaard, who goes long out to this near side, and it flies over the head of the Toulouse winger Aaron Donham and out for a throw-in to Scotland on this near side. It's two makeshift lineups, you would have to say. Scotland and Norway both shorn of superstars. For the Norwegians, Odegaard and Haaland both missing. Birger Meling as well at left back's a huge player for them. Neither the two main men, though, Haaland and Odegaard, are available. But of course Scotland without Robertson, Tierney and a handful of others, including Angus Gunn, the goalkeeper, as Norway pick up at the back with the familiar figure of Christopher Ajer, former Celtic defender. He plays it to Napoli's Ostergaard, who knocks it out to Bjorkan on this near side. A few Norwegian players starting tonight who are normally fringe men. Comes back into their own penalty area, and the goalkeeper this evening, Egil Selvik, who then turns it out to the right hand side for Julian Ryerson of Borussia Dortmund. One back by Greg Taylor over on that far side. Scotland all in navy blue, shooting east as the Norwegians come forward. A good challenge back there by Armstrong. It's picked up on this near side by Patterson, who was having his jersey pulled there by Aaron Donham, and to the letter of the law, that's a clear yellow card. The referee's just settling for a word of warning, the Romanian official down there. But I presume as the rain begins to tumble down here, we've seen that already in this campaign. I assume, Craig Levine, that he's not been carded because it's so early in the piece.
Yeah, but that's nonsense, isn't it?
John McGinn picks up a loose ball, slipping it through to Brown, who moved to the left. The ball went to the right, and it comes all the way through to Selvik, the keeper. Craig?
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. I mean, it's a jersey pull, he's pulled him back, it's a yellow card. It doesn't matter what time it is.
No, it doesn't. I mean, maybe back in the day you would say get your tackles in early, but that's gone completely, isn't it? Denham coming back there and pulling Patterson, there's no doubt about it. In fact, he had two goes at him. Referee's got to show a yellow card.
Taylor as well over on the far side to knock it out of play under pressure from Manchester City youngster Oscar Bobb, who scored his first goal for the senior Norwegian side in their 2-0 friendly win over the Faroe Islands last week. And they still maintain hopes of getting through to the playoffs. They were extinguished by Yanis Hadji, who scored a winner for Romania against Israel last night, which means Israel will take their place in the playoffs. Norway had hoped to get a sniff of that. It's not going to happen for them. Ostergaard plants it out onto the chest on the right hand side of Ryerson, gets the early ball in. It breaks back to the right hand side of the penalty spot, and Norway leads. A fantastic finish there from Aaron Donham, who knocks it in off the left hand post. And the Norwegians have come here to play party pooper. They've done it already early on here. Less than 3 on the clock. Scotland 0, Norway 1.
Well, he's taken it well, isn't he? He's showed a lot of calmness there, Denham in the box, of course, coming in from the right hand side. I think it's Larson that goes for it. He's putting off Jack Henry. I do feel it is. It falls off his heels to Denham, and cool as you like, he takes a little touch, looking for it. It's on his right foot, wants it onto his left foot, gets onto the left foot, looks up and curls it in off the post.
I think in fairness to Xander Clark, Craig, you see this replay, I think it's taking a touch off Patterson on its way through. Yeah,
it does, and it just takes it beyond the reach of Xander Clark. But I think Patterson could have been a little bit more aware of his surroundings. I mean, he didn't know that Denham was behind him, and if he had done and got tight with him, then this situation wouldn't have arisen.
1-0. Aaron Donham scores his first international goal on his 4th cap, and that wasn't in the script, Willie.
No, it wasn't. And I'm watching the cross coming in as well, and it's Larson against, I think it's Jack Hendry, and Larson gets the better of him physically, and it actually comes off the striker's heel and falls, fortunately for Denham. But then he makes no mistake, he maybe gets a little bit of good fortune with the deflection, but it's cool as you like. And yeah, we're not expecting that. Norway have started really positively. It's the first cross into the box, not dealt with. I don't think Henry was physical enough with the striker, and you see what happens. It falls to a talented player, and he curls it in off the post.
Donham, who got the goal, just left standard Liège in the summer for Toulouse in the lower reaches of the French top flight. And it comes back to Clark, who plays it short to Hendry. Jack Henry just outside his penalty area, squaring it to McKenna. He's one of 4 changes in the Scotland starting 11 this evening. As McGregor collects and rolls it out to that far side. It's poked back by McLean to Taylor. forward to John McGinn, who skippers the team in the absence of Robertson again. And it's McLean trying to win the throw, and he has done that over on that north stand side. And it's going to be a Scotland ball, which is moved in field to McGregor, and now McTominay. So Scotland behind twice in Tbilisi the other night. They're going to have to come from behind again here against the Norwegians, but lots of time to do so. Just 5.5 on the clock.
Yeah, they have, but you know, the last thing you want is to lose a goal so early in the game, don't you? And I think that's how the players will be feeling. I don't see any panic. I don't think there will be panic. I think there's a lot of belief in this squad of players, and as you said, Liam, plenty of time to you know, sort the issue out. But really, you know, you're playing with the two centre backs again, and the cross comes in. There's an awful lot of spaces that can be exploited. And Craig's right, you know, I think Patterson should be a little bit more alert.
And here comes Bob down the right hand side for Norway, checks his run, under pressure from McGregor, back to the Norwegian skipper this evening, Sander Berge of Burnley, and back to Ajer, who slips it to Berg, and back to Ajer, and then over to that right hand side. He's going to get it back immediately, is Christopher Ajer, and he plays it to Østegård, who's very much part of the Napoli starting 11 this season. Was in and out of the team last term. Incidentally, an early goal in Valladolid, and Lenormand, the Spanish centre-back, has put them 1-0 up on Georgia. So any hopes that Scotland had of winning this group are in serious jeopardy now, early on in both games, with Spain and Norway both leading. As Ajer knocks it forward there to Larsson, is touched back the way, it goes straight to McLean though, and it's fired back to Zander Clark. No thoughts of a clean sheet for him in his first appearance for the Scotland side at home have gone, and is out for a throw into Scotland on the near side to be taken by Patterson. This didn't allow themselves a chance to settle into the game before Clark was picking the ball out of his own net.
It's another goal though, Liam, as well. You know, you sit and analyse it in the Georgia game. It's a back four, lost 2 goals. You've now lost 1 early in the game here, so you know, you learn things from playing a back four, but I don't think it's particularly positive at this moment in time.
It's 12 goals conceded in just over 4 games now. The 3 to England, it was the 2 to the Spanish, the 4 to the French, 2 to the Georgians, 1 early here to the Norwegians. As McGinn battles for it up the pitch, and he's done well. He wins the corner, came ricocheting off a couple of Norwegian players there. Ajer was one of them, and Scotland have their first corner of the evening as we approach 8 minutes. They trail 1-0. What is now a wet night in Glasgow. An in-swinging corner coming up from McTominay from the Scotland left. They attack the east end of the ground off to our right. In-swinger from McTominay's headed away by Berge, and headed back into the box by McGregor, and then the header clear by Larsson. Little flick on by McLean backwards towards the Norwegian 18 is not clear by Ajer. And over on that right hand side it is with the fleet-footed Oscar Vob, who rolls it back into his own penalty area for Østegård. Short ball to his left for Bjorkan. Infield for Berg, whose father and grandfather were also capped for the Norwegian senior team once upon a time. It's Østegård again, just slipping it to Ajer. And then back to Østegård once more. The Norwegians' pain, major tournaments, or lack of major tournaments, has gone on longer than Scotland's now. They haven't qualified for one since just after the turn of the century. They haven't been to a World Cup since '98. Euro 2000 was their last appearance at a major finals. As Taylor puts it up the line for McLean, keeps it in play, level with the edge of the centre circle, back in field for McGregor. Scotland get a feel of the ball here. Out to Taylor, forward to McGinn, good change of pace, so strong. McGinn left hand side of the box, chopped to the ground, free kick to the Scots, level with the Norwegian 6-yard line, left hand side of the area, and Christopher Ajer's booked for it as well. He's claiming it shouldn't even have been a foul. He's been cautioned.
I thought John was going down before the tackle went in, but I would like to see a replay of it. No, it certainly he's taken out, isn't it? It's just outside the box. Maybe gets a little touch on it.
Perhaps, but I do think it's a foul.
I think it's a foul, yeah. He's not got much on it at all.
Well, the free kick, left-hand side of the box.
Is McTominay
standing over it. I was going to say, the one he scored Goal score's disallowed, but the one he scored in Seville was further out towards the corner flag, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to see him try though.
Maybe as well. 10 minutes in, 1-0 down.
It's on.
It's not a great night for goalkeepers either. Slick surface. You just have a batter at this, Scott McTominay. He's eyeing up the Norwegian goal right now. And the referee's happy. Here he goes. McTominay, he's gone low, comes off the wall, breaks back to McGregor, volleys for goal, penalty, handball! Callum McGregor lashed it down into the ground, it bounced back off a Norwegian, and the referee's awarded Scotland a penalty.
I think we'd have to see it happen too quickly. I wasn't sure if it hit the arm or not. It will be checked, of course, but the Norwegian player's not happy at all. I'm not
It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a better angle for the guys.
Runs of that.
Oh, it did hit his arm. Yeah,
did.
I don't know.
Or is it the back, or is it his back?
I don't know if it is his arm.
I thought it came off his elbow looking at the replay from behind the goal there.
I think we would need a close look at it. I think VAR will need to look closely at it.
John McGinn
we'll just have to wait and see.
John McGinn is pushing Leo Oostegård off the penalty spot because he's not allowing McGinn to spot it up, because it will be John McGinn who's standing over this one after the VAR check is done and dusted, and if the penalty is the case, then it will be John McGinn who'll take. And he's got a real opportunity here potentially to score his 18th goal for his country, but it has been awarded after the check. So John McGinn has the chance to draw level with Kenny Miller in the Scotland goal scoring ranks. He's been overshadowed largely by Scott McTominay in this campaign, but the skipper for the night, the number 7, stands hands on hips just inside the Norway box, ready to take this penalty at the east end of the stadium. John McGinn being made to wait here by the Romanian referee. Now he's ready. Here he goes, left-footed penalty, goal! Goal, Scotland! And John McGinn officially gets the party started here on Glasgow's south side, right down the middle. Scotland won, Norway won.
Yeah, it makes no mistake, a lot of power behind it. You know, it's not tucked away in the corner, right down the middle. Goalkeeper goes to his left-hand side, and John just a little bit to the goalkeeper's other side, but just power and deceiving the goalkeeper, and it ends up in the back of the net. Quick equaliser.
Yeah, it's a good penalty. He's got plenty of pace on it. Even if the goalkeeper does go that way, he might not get it just with the speed. But it's hard to tell. I'm looking at this penalty incident again. It's quite difficult to tell with the angles we have.
Well, the Croatian VAR, it's Romanian on-field officials tonight, but the VAR's Croatian, he's obviously quite happy to back his referee, and Scotland are back on level terms, having lost that early goal.
Listen, Liam, they'll have, you know, many different angles than what we've been party to here. There's one angle in particular that looks as though it comes off his back, but obviously they've looked closely at it. We've got the call, and we've won the penalty kick. We've taken advantage of it, so back in level terms.
The strains of Super John McGinn ring round Hampden Park. He's at it again for his country. Hendry with a touch as the attempted ball out wide left has gone all wrong for the Norwegian goal scorer Dunham. And he comes back to the edge of the Scotland box for Jack Hendry into the team for Ryan Porteous this evening. Out to Patterson on the near side, clipping it forward to McTominay. No, came from his free kick. Wasn't a great one, but it doesn't matter anymore. It comes back to McGregor in the centre circle, firing it out to Kenny McLean into his feet wide in the left. The man who broke Norwegian hearts in June. Back the way to Taylor, and now it's with McGregor. Side foot ball out to McLean again, down the line for Taylor, infield, early ball from McGinn inside the penalty area, turns away from his man, wide left, Taylor, his cross is cut out, might get a second chance here. This time he takes the easy option, short ball to McGinn, out on that left hand side, looking to try and win a throw, and at least I think it's come off him last though, and out it goes for a Norwegian throw over on that far side. So one apiece as we approach 15 minutes. Scotland have settled, and Scotland are level. John McGinn's third goal in this campaign, as I did mention there, he has been overshadowed by Scott McTominay to some degree, to some tune in Group A. But knowing John McGinn, he'll be more than happy to allow someone else to get a bit of the limelight. He's had some himself, and he's had some himself tonight.
Yeah, but I think he likes the limelight, him as well, you know, so we'll be delighted to have stuck that penalty away. And it's a great response from Scotland, isn't it? You know, taking the game to Norway, winning the corner as well, and getting a bit of good fortune, I think. You know, with the penalty being given, I don't think the strike would have bothered the goalkeeper too much, to be perfectly honest. It looked pretty straight down his throat, but it comes off the arm, we get the penalty, and John McGinn does the business.
There's McTominay, the through ball's cut out, and it's cleared when about the 18-yard line by Ryerson. It comes all the way into the Scotland half, where McKenna will knock it back to Gunn. He's going to go in a little bit unnoticed. Scott McKenna getting a run of games again in the national team. He's one of those who got his chance under Alec McLeish. Difficult nights there were, including the one in Kazakhstan, but it's good to see Scott McKenna grabbing his opportunity with Kieran Tierney's injury, initially allowing that as he finds Hendry. He takes it up towards the edge of the centre circle. Square ball for McKenna. Taylor out on the far side. He plays it through to McLean. First time to McGregor. Slaloms away from one. Berga, he goes down, but Brown picks up the scraps and finds McGinn. Then back to the edge of the centre circle for Hendry. Out wide right for Patterson. Short ball to Armstrong, then to Patterson, then to McGregor, and then to McKenna. Everyone bar Zander Clark in the Norwegian half here. McGinn helps it on its way out wide left for Taylor, takes a touch, crosses in, it's a loopy one towards McLean, heads it back to Armstrong, his effort's blocked. It would have been interesting to see where that was going. Norway managed to scrape it away. Here's Patterson turning it back to Hendry. Good little period of domination this for Scotland, just before the goal and since the goal, as they look to turn this on its head quickly. Here's Patterson, volleys the ball into the box from the right hand side, headed away by Ayer and picked up by Dunham on this near side. Gets it through the legs of McGregor up to halfway. It's passed forward, it'll come straight through to Hendry though, and he touches it back to Zander Clark. 17 and a half minutes played here under the lights at the National Stadium. Scotland 1, Norway 1.
That was a nice period of possession. Scotland looked calm and in control after getting back into the game with that penalty, and there's been some good football since then.
Here is Armstrong turning it out to the left hand side for McGinn. Taylor on the underlap. McGinn's with the early ball in though, but it comes right through to the keeper who spotted the danger. Selvik comes out and claims 8 yards from his goal line. He holds on and bowls it to Oostegård, just to the edge of his penalty area. The defending champions Napoli, who he plays for, sitting fourth in Serie A just now, having eased to their first title in more than 3 decades last season in Italy. Clipped ball up to halfway, turned back into the centre circle, and Berga rolling it out to Bob. He's got an overlap option from Ryerson. Bob takes it to the edge of the penalty area, then turns away back onto his right side with a left foot, rolls it to Sander Berga, level with the Scotland penalty spot. He's now moved back the way to Ausnes of Benfica, then to Ayer, sweeps it to Oostegård, and suddenly Scotland have everyone back inside their own half here, defending some Norwegian possession. It's out on this left hand side with Bjorkan, goes back onto halfway for Oostegård, now in the centre circle. Ayer to Oostegård, and then out to Bjorkan wide in the left, just inside his own half. His pass forward does find its target, and Larsson into the centre circle. Ausnes now turns it to Berga, who will move into a little pocket of space. Options right and left, shifts it right to Ryerson, level with the Scotland 18, comes back the way, passes it back to Christopher Ayer, and then to Bob. This is Norway's best period of play since they scored in 3 minutes. Down the right hand side, it's a really good ball in. They're going to get their lead back here. Norway hit the front again. Dunham made sure of the back post. I think it was just going over the line in any case. Larsson involved, and it's Scotland 1, Norway 2.
Yeah, I think it's Larsson's goal. He's certainly claiming it. You maybe have to get VAR to check that, whether it was over the line before Dunham actually just touched it in, but it's really good work, isn't it? An excellent piece of play down the right hand side with a little bit stretch. The cross comes in. Good striker play. It's over the line. The striker gets it. It's Larsson that makes a run to the near post, and he gets that left foot on it. Xander Clark struggling a little bit, and it ends up in the back of the net. So listen, it's been an exciting game of football. You've got three goals in 20 minutes. So unfortunately, it's Norway that's got the better of us so far.
Well, I mean, the way the game started, if you're a neutral, it's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, again, getting down that left-hand side where the first goal came from, the ball was deflected once again. And I think that put Xander Clark off a little bit. He managed to get a hand to the ball, but the ball spun along the line. And, the Norwegian player was the closest, and he's just tapped it home. But, I mean, I'm actually really enjoying this game.
It's a good game of football. And some nice football played, by both teams. Yes, I think Scotland, really good build-up play initially, but then Norway, doing the same. And at the other end, putting the final touch to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's deflections in both Norway goals, but it's still another 2 goals that Scotland have conceded. They took on those challenging fixtures in the late or the mid-autumn in England in September, but then those matches against the French and the qualifier against the Spanish were huge tests for them. And plenty goals conceded. They want to get back on the winning trail. There'll be 4 friendly games to come, 2 in March and then 2 at the start of June before the tournament. They're hoping to have 2 at home and 2 away by the look of things. 1 at home, 1 away in March, same in June before the tournament. And they want to start winning games again. As McTominay picks up and slips it to the left of the centre circle for McKenna, and out to McLean over on the far side. Back to McKenna. Scotland then have to come from behind again. Hendry, clip ball to the left for Taylor. First time with the left foot. McGinn going after it, taking on Ayer, driving away from Ayer down the left-hand side. It's really good play. He's won the corner as well. He's such a talisman for this team, John McGinn. He's so crucial to what Steve Clarke wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, the attitude's brilliant, the work rate fantastic, and the goals that he's producing phenomenal. And a little bit of intelligence there. Ayer, well, I don't think he did particularly well, but John McGinn actually, he's going nowhere, John McGinn, and all Ayer has to do is keep him facing out the park. He allows him to turn, and Scotland get the corner.
To be taken by Stuart Armstrong over on that far side. The Scotland left as they attack the goal to the right. Armstrong to take over in that northeast corner. Drifts it in, it's headed clear. I think it was Larsson, the second Norwegian goal scorer, who got onto it, and Patterson's ball back out wide left was aimed for Armstrong, but he can only put it behind for the goal kick. And for now, as we go into the second quarter of this final Group A qualifier, it is Scotland 1, Norway 2.
Yeah, I think really good attitude to get back in the game after that early goal, but it's another goal too, isn't it? The tally is certainly mounting in terms of the games that have played recently and the amount of goals that Scotland are losing, and that'll be concerning for Steve Clarke.
There are obviously the caveats in that there's no Tierney, there's no Robertson. He's not being able to play his usual 3/5.
Yeah, you could go into the Euros like that as well.
Well, that's the problem.
I think these two that you've got as centre-back are shoe-ins for the 23 though.
Here comes Bob down the right for Norway, level with the Scotland 18. Forced to turn back the way. It's a nice disguised ball for Bergen, but he puts it behind for the goal kick. Ran out of pitch really, and that's going to be a goal kick to Scotland. They kept a clean sheet in Larnaca, but then there was the 3 against England, 2 to Spain, 4 to France, 2 to Georgia, now 2 in the opening quarter of this one against the Norwegians. Need to stop the leaking. As Patterson picks up, and Willie rightly says they could potentially be without any of these players. Injury could strike at any time. So Tierney missed the game against the Czechs here, start of the last Euros. Scotland gave it away through Armstrong, have it back immediately through Patterson up to the edge of the centre circle for Brown of Luton Town. And you find the number 3 Taylor, then to McGregor in the centre circle, and back to Hendry. Hendry rolls it to the right for Patterson, infield for McTominay. Just caresses the ball back to McGregor. Big switch coming here out towards McLean. McLean onto it, cushion header looking for McGinn. Diving header away by Ayer this time. Ayer coming out on top against McGinn. Hasn't been the case really in the opening 25. Norway have it. Larsson can't really control. One back well by Taylor. Here's McTominay in the centre circle. Short ball forward to Armstrong. Back to McTominay. Side foot to his left for McGinn. McGinn trying to work some space out left for McLean. Those two know each other so well. And McGinn can't return it to McLean, having been given to him by his former St Mirren teammate, and now it's Norway coming away with Sander Berge in the centre circle. It's passed forwards, cut out by McKenna. Berge picks it up again though, out to this near side. Donham, and back the way to Bjorkan, into the middle of the pitch with Patrick Berg, and back the way to Ayer. Norway can slow things down again. 25.5 in, the visitors leading by 2-1. It's now with Ayer in the centre circle. Fond memories of Hampden from his time at Celtic, including winning the Scottish Cup final with that decisive penalty in the shootout against Hearts, as Bob picks up wide on the right, twisting and turning against Taylor, pulling it back to Berge, out to Ryerson on the right hand side, takes a touch, his cross, takes a nick off a defender, into the box it comes. Larsson attacked it, looked like it was bouncing harmlessly behind for the corner for Norway. Larsson decided to go for it. He'll be regretting that now, because his touch takes it behind for the goal kick, and it remains 2-1 to the Norwegians.
Bob looks quite lively down that right hand side.
Yeah, he seems to have a trick
Why
or
did
two
you
as
smile
well.
when I said Bob?
I was just thinking he was bobbing along down that right hand side. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to bring that up, but now you've asked me. But he does, he looks a talented player.
It's Blackadder I keep thinking about.
No, I was just saying.
He had stuck with everyone now. Just watch how I'm seeing it. It's back with the goalkeeper here, Selvik, who knocks it out to the left hand side, but it is picked up by Bjorkan midway inside his own half. Short ball to Ausnes, who knocks it forward to Berg. Berg back out to the left hand side, and Bjorkan again to the midfield for Berge, back to Oostegård. And Norway probably enjoying their most comfortable period in the match. Scotland's reaction to going one behind early on was better than the reaction to going 2-1 down, but perhaps Norway taking some proper confidence from that. There's a few out there looking to impress Ståle Solbakken down there, the Norway coach. Here is Ayer forward to Oscar Bob, who's now on the run. He's away from McGregor, driving forward, little ricochet eventually as it moved away from him, and it breaks kindly back to Zander Clark, who finds McTominay, and out to this near side for Patterson. Yeah, Bob made his English Premier League debut in a game against Fulham in September. He came on for Phil Foden. He's clearly going to be one of the next big things in European football. He comes very highly regarded. He's not a teenager anymore, he's 20. He's been at City since 2019. It's just his second call-up, but he looks the talent. As McGregor fires it out to Patterson on the near side. Little ball in field to McTominay. Here's McGregor. McGregor then to the left of the centre circle for McKenna. He finds Hendry. It's so unusual to see Scotland playing that back four. McGregor forward to Brown. Lays it off back to Armstrong, and then to McGregor again. McGregor side foot the ball to the left of the centre circle from McKenna, out wide left touchline for Taylor. McGinn ahead of him. Into feet for John McGinn. Two Norwegians around him. It's a lovely little spin by McGinn. He goes down. The referee waiting to see if Scotland have an advantage. He's happy to let them play on here, even though they've come back the way. Here's Armstrong to McKenna. I'm assuming he was going to give the free kick there if Scotland lost possession, but perhaps not, because they've come back towards their own half now. McKenna to McGregor, and now to McTominay. Out to this near side for McLean. Infield to McGregor. And then to McGregor again, getting it from Hendry, who finds McKenna. 1-1 now, by the way, in Valladolid. Georgia have equalised against Spain. And I was saying Kvaratskhelia was injured. I thought he was. Or that's what I read today. He scored, so he's obviously involved. 1-1 in Valladolid. Spain 1, Georgia 1. But because of the second Spanish goal, even if that finished a draw, the second Spanish goal against Scotland in Seville last month, the goal difference would go to, rather than head-to-head, because that would be level, would mean that a Scotland win and a Spanish draw would not be enough for Scotland to win the group. They would have to win and hope Georgia win that game as well.
This is a really interesting match. It's almost like each team say, well, you have the ball for 5 minutes to see if you can score, then we'll have it for 5 minutes. It's been, I mean, the possession might be quite close actually when you look at it, but it's really interesting.
There's McTominay picking up midway inside the Norway half, out to the right hand side for McLean. McLean gets some help from Patterson, uses him as the decoy, rolls it infield to McTominay, good place, shoots from the edge of the box, and he goes behind for the corner. He's got his arms outstretched at the referee, Scott McTominay, as that came off the defender. I think it was just outside the penalty area, even if he thinks this has come off an arm. There's a Scotland corner.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is just on the line perhaps, maybe just outside. Liam, difficult again to see from up here, getting some reruns as well, and it's not conclusive. But Scott McTominay, I think he was the only player though that was claiming for it, wasn't he?
Corner. McTominay rifles it in, headed away by Ayer to the edge of the box. Taylor heads it back into the area. That's going to be comfortable for the keeper to come and collect on the penalty spot. Played half an hour. 2-1 to Norway. The VAR check just announced on the screen a good few seconds after it had been concluded. But there was obviously a little check going on there. It did come off the arm of Ustegård. It must be because he's outside the penalty area. They can't obviously take that any further.
I think his arm's right in front of his body as well, isn't it? You know, I think the arm would have to be out a little bit in an unnatural position. Anyway, it wasn't given. But you're right, Craig. It's a lovely game of football, isn't it? You know, it's like one of these games where there's very few, if any, unforced errors. You know, the passing's good, it's crisp. You know, the movement's excellent. That's from both sides. And you know, whenever they lose the ball, this is both sides again. They just go back into their own half, yeah, and allow possession and allow reasonable amount of room as well for the passes to happen. So it's nice to watch. It really is.
Scotland only lost 6 of their last 26 games. Ukraine, Ireland, Turkey, England, Spain and France. And again, lovely ball, wide left. McKenna puts it across and into the side net off Ayer, who was sliding in, and Jordan Brown's got his head in his hands because he's right in behind the big Norwegian defender, waiting for a tap in. They're going to have to settle for another corner. It stays 2-1 Norway on 32.
Yeah, overlapping centre backs. The good ball into the box, wasn't it? Deflected wide.
McTominay with it. Dodson! 2 apiece. Kenny McLean with the header. 6 yards out. Again, it's been tapped home. Might have been over in any case. Jack Hendry was on the line. And it's Scotland 2, Norway 2. What a thriller to round things off.
Yeah, we'd take that when the corner come in. It's a good delivery, but is there a little touch at the near post?
Might actually be an own goal, Willie.
There is, yeah. I think Kenny McLean gets in, it comes off a defender, and you know, but McLean gets, so it's a good delivery. Kenny McLean's made the run towards the near post. He gets a little flick on it, comes off the defender, it ends up into the back of the net. There's no doubt that it's not McLean's goal, but he had a big hand in it, didn't he? It was an excellent run and fabulous delivery.
Good ball in, a good header.
It's Napoli's Ustegård who got the final touch. Yeah. Actually, McLean's header's not on target.
But that's 3 goals that have been a result of deflections.
Yeah. And that time, it's deflected it on goal. I think the other, well, certainly the Norwegian first goal was probably on target anyway, but it's taken it away from Xander Clark. But that one there, McLean's header wasn't on target, but the touch from Ustegård has taken it into the net, and for Scotland that is all that matters, and it's back on level terms again. Twice, as they did in Tbilisi on Thursday, they've come from behind at Hampden against Norway.
Willie, would you 5 each? Is that fair to assume that it's going the way it's going?
Yeah, we've enjoyed the game. It's been a nice game of football. Heavy challenge there going in, the referee over to just try to calm things down, but yeah, it's been enjoyable. 30 plus minutes or so, I think. As far as the fans here are concerned, they must have enjoyed what they've been watching so far, and you know, very good resilience from Scotland to come back, you know, going behind in both occasions and not panicking, you know, not rushing into it, sticking to the game pattern, still trying to play the passes and getting the rewards.
It's 2 teams with the shackles off as well, isn't it, for 2 very different reasons, but even the Norwegians are hoping to impress as they look ahead to the Nations League next year. Scotland, a few fringe men looking to make an impression tonight for obvious reasons. This comes back to Clark after a good run forward, a dangerous run forward by Dunham. Scotland get it clear into the Norway half, picked up by Ayer in the centre circle as we move towards the final 10 of the first 45. It's with Ryerson out on the right hand side for Norway, picked up by Berga, who turns it back into the centre circle for Ustegård, who was the unfortunate victim of that own goal. Squares it to Ayer, Then out to Bob over on that far side. And then into his own half for Oostegård. So Oostegård scoring against Rangers in the Champions League last season for Napoli. In and out of the team, as I say, under Spalletti, but he's under the new regime in Naples. He's been getting more of a chance this term. And it's passed all the way back to the goalkeeper Selvik. So important that Scotland get something out of the game tonight, just to round off this campaign. So when you look back at it in the history books, just that one defeat away to the top seeds, and there's no shame in going to Spain and losing, even if they're not close to where they were a decade ago. And Oscar Bob picks up midway inside the Scotland half, shifts it to his left for Aursnes, and then to Bob again, forward to Larsson, under pressure from McKenna. Well, I thought McKenna did pretty well, looked like he was being, or just defending strongly on that occasion. The referee decides that nowadays is a foul. I've got two centre-backs of note to my right. I'm not sure what you think, guys. He got too much of the shirt, perhaps?
Yeah,
I thought they were trying to swap shirts, actually.
And they're both at it, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's resulted in a Norway free kick.
Yeah, it's tight touch defending, isn't it, from Scott McKenna. He's not given Larsson the striker. And he is a big unit as well, Larsson too, so McKenna want to make sure that it doesn't get turned in a dangerous area, and giving away the free kick,
which is, well, it's between 25 and 30 yards from goal. It's just slightly left of centre. But on a night like this, when the rain is falling, the pitch is soaking, and then you're probably as well having a go. It looks like Bob is going to leave it, and it's going to be Patrick Berg who rifles it for goal. It's not far away, and just evades the top right corner. It's a fantastic effort from the Bodø Glimt midfielder, and it will be a goal kick to Scotland, and it will stay 2 apiece.
Well, it looks like one of those knuckle balls, isn't it? You know, it was struck, and it looked like it was diving into that top left-hand corner, but it just missed the post.
McTominay's won it off Berg, slips it to McGinn, but it's behind his teammate, and that allows Ryerson to come back and pinch it just as John McGinn thought he might have been in on goal. And it's moved out to this left-hand side. Bjorkan's ball's poor into midfield, straight to McGregor. Now McTominay slipping it to his right for Brown, just had it pinched off him though. And Norway have it back through Bjorkan and forward to Larsson. Now with Sander Berge for Bob, who's wrestled to the ground by Taylor. Free kick to Norway, just right of the centre circle, but Greg Taylor knows he's in a game tonight against this guy, Oscar Bob. A total buzz bomb out on that right hand side. Here is Ajer, and square it to Oostegård. Short ball to the left, Bjorkan infield for Berg, back to Bjorkan down the left, shifting it to Donham. He moves infield under pressure from Patterson, stabbing it through, looking for Larsson, but it evades him and goes right through to Zander Clark. It's 2 apiece here at the National Stadium. 38.5 minutes played here on Sportsound across the frequencies on BBC Radio Scotland this Sunday evening, on digital and online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Fair play to the Scotland fans who are here this evening, filling Hampden. The sold out signs outside. A Sunday night is not the best time of the week to be coming to a football match, particularly if you don't live in Glasgow or indeed the Central Belt, as much of the Tartan Army don't. I mean, I'm not actually sure exactly what time the last train leaves Glasgow for the north, whether you're in Aberdeen, Inverness or even further beyond, but I'm pretty sure there won't be one after the full-time whistle here, as Ajer picks up on the edge of the centre circle.
No, you know, I mean, I think they're here to pay tribute, aren't they? They're here to pay tribute to a team that's produced magnificent football, to a manager that has turned their fortunes round, and now we're used to qualifying for major tournaments. The Euros obviously were favourite, and it gives them, you know, something to look forward to in the summer.
And Bob for Norway, the attacking third, slips it to the right for Ryerson. Bob continues his run, it's just not back to Berge. Out to Bob on the touchline on the far side, front of the north stand. Back to Berge, and then down the line for Ryerson. Aursnes in support, but he turns it back to Berge, and he's under pressure, so he decides to go back to Ajer on the halfway line. Brown trying to close him down, struggled to get into the game. Jacob Brown looking to impress. There will be a bit more pressure on him to perform, given Lawrence Shanklin's exploits in Tbilisi the other night. Getting his start tonight. As Ajer collects on the halfway line, out to Bob again. It's an extended period of Norwegian possession within the final 5 minutes of the first half here at Hampden.
It's not going anywhere though, is it? You know, they're quite happy just to keep it. You know, there's not, even when they do get a 1v1, they're not too anxious to.
Here's a chance. Larson, right hand side of the box, support to his left, moves it back to Bob at the edge of the area. Now it's with Berg, side foots it a goal, but it's a comfortable take for Clark, but only because he's put it straight at him. When he zips that towards goal like he attempted to do with his free kick a few minutes ago, Scotland could have been behind for a third time.
I think he's got to do better. I think that's a magnificent opportunity for Berg coming there, and he hits it low along the ground. He's under no pressure whatsoever. He can pick his spot. He can put it right or left past Zander Clark, and I think the goalkeeper would have been struggling. He puts it right at him and doesn't have to hit it with too much pressure either.
Here comes Scotland. Patterson for Brown inside the penalty area. Back to McTominay. Square ball from McGregor. McGregor then back to Taylor in the central area. Loves to do that for his club, of course. Now it's with McTominay. Out to Patterson on this near side. Patterson infield to McGregor. McGregor, he does have that benefit of understanding the way Greg Taylor plays week in, week out. Comes out to the left from McGinn. Now Armstrong back to John McGinn, whose penalty cancelled out the first Norwegian goal. Here is Brown inside the box, manages to get it back out wide left for Armstrong, and he can't control. And Norway come away with it, with Bob over on the far side. He's brought crashing to the ground by Armstrong, and that's going to be a free kick to the Norwegians over on the far side. He's been ticked towards half-time. 42 on the clock. Scotland 2, Norway 2.
Sure, Armstrong will be getting a reputation as a tough tackling midfield player if he doesn't watch it. He gets a little bit in the ball there. I think he's a bit unlucky that he's stretching all the way, and I suppose in the modern game it is a free kick. But I don't think Jacob Brown's done much in the game, has he? I think he's struggled to find, what he's trying to do. What is his reason for being, up there? Is he a target man? Is he one that wants to come off? Just now he seems to be playing in between, and he's not too sure of what his role is supposed to be. Well, I'm certainly not too sure of what his role is supposed to be.
The thing is, when Scotland have got into wide areas, they're not putting crosses in. What Norway are doing is whenever they get in a wide area and they get an opportunity, they throw the ball into the box. And I feel that, I can't really tell what he's good at, because he's had very little service so far.
Bergat for Norway, back to Ustegard. Another game in the group in Valladolid. Real Sociedad's Lenormand giving Spain the lead, cancelled out by Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, who scored the 2 goals against the Scots on Thursday. As Norway pick up a free kick down below us. It's 2 apiece here. It's as it was at the start of the group with regards to the position Scotland need to win, and they need Georgia to beat Spain, who've won their last 24 successive home European Championship qualifying matches, in order to win the group. And it's still on as it stands. Bob knocks it out to Ryerson, and back into his own half for Ajer. Ajer then out to Ryerson, touches it forward. Bob's got some space. Taylor's out of position. Bob now driving at the Scotland box, up to the edge of the area, gets the early ball in. Berger goes after it, pulls it back. Chance for Norway, blocked brilliantly by Patterson. Larson was in the middle, and then Dunham looked all set there to make it 3-2. It stays at 2 apiece, but only because Nathan Patterson blocked it, because otherwise Zander Clark was in complete no man's land. 2-2, 44 on the clock.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant from Patterson. He just throws his body in front of it. Dunham, perhaps he should do better, but I just think it's magnificent defending from Patterson. He's really desperate. He's got nothing much to do. He's a little bit fortunate, perhaps. He does turn his back. We're just watching a replay, and it comes off his knee, but he's there. He's blocking it, and I think Scott McTominay's behind him as well.
Yeah, I do think, though, that he got through too easily there. I mean, Bob's been brilliant, hasn't he? And he just slipped the ball through inside the box, the big striker. He got there first, and it was a good pullback, actually, and it should have been a goal. I mean, it's a brilliant block by Patterson, but it should have been a goal.
Bob's been at heart of everything really
has.
for Norway, hasn't he? He's been outstanding. It's a good job they've only really discovered him at the tail end of this campaign. I think it's fair to say. 1 minute of stoppage time. We're into that right now. I think Norway can look forward to some good times with Bob teeing up Erling Haaland game after game. Of course, they are club mates as well. No Odegaard for them either this evening. And Scotland themselves without Hickey, Robertson, Tierney, Gunn. As Patterson goes to ground, fouled by Dunham down in this near side. It's going to be a free kick to Scotland. Level with the edge of the centre circle, a couple of yards from this main stand side touchline. Infield to McGregor, back to Hendry. And Hendry out to Patterson. It's the closing seconds of an entertaining 4-goal first half. The goals shared. As that comes back to the keepers. A drawn scoreline about right, Craig?
I think so. I'll let you commentate here with the attack for Scotland.
Typical. As soon as a Hanty, as Armstrong shoots, he's not far away. Drove into the penalty area, left-hand side of the box, just past the right-hand post, as the Scots look to hit the front before the break. But that is half-time. And they've finished the half on a real positive note. It's a terrific run by Armstrong. His left foot effort, though, goes past, and I think the goalkeeper had it covered in any case. But it is 2 apiece at the interval. Norway hitting the front through Dunham inside 3 minutes. In off the post, took a deflection off Patterson before John McGinn's penalty levelled things up 10 minutes later. But the Norwegians hit the front again, Frederick. Or rather, Larsen, Jørgen Larsen, with the finish from close range. It was touched over the line, but Larsen got the touch that saw it go over to give the Norwegians the lead again, before Scotland hit back. 13 minutes later, an Oostegård own goal from the corner. Kenny McLean rose highest, won the header, and it came off Oostegård and into the net. It went for 2 apiece. Chances at both ends towards the end of the first half there as well. But it is half-time at the National Stadium with a scoreline of Scotland 2, Norway 2.
Scotland in the Euro 2024 qualifiers.
Brilliant from Scotland!
This is Sports Sound
From BBC Radio Scotland.
So 2-2 at Hampden. They're not quite at half-time, and via the lead into the 3rd minute of stoppage time still. Spain 1, Georgia 1 in that one. Normal putting Spain in front, but Kvaratskhelia, who scored the 2 against Scotland in the last match, got the equaliser pretty quickly, actually, just a few minutes after the Spanish opener. So 1-1 there in stoppage time. It is 2-2 here at Hampden Park. It's certainly been a very open game, very entertaining at times. Got to say that the scorer of the first Norwegian goal, Aaron Donham, had a hell of an opening 13 minutes. He should have been booked with just a minute in the clock for pulling back Nathan Patterson. He then scored just a few minutes later, and he conceded the penalty, from which John McGinn scored the first of our equalisers. And he should, right at the very end of the half, had put Norway back in front, albeit he was denied by a fine Nathan Patterson block. It has been lively, Tom English, and just one of those, look, exciting enough, I suppose, but as the boys were saying, so much really nice football, a lot of moves, and both sides having times of possession and dominance.
It's very entertaining. I'm not sure Steve Clark will be all that happy with it. I think Norway the better side, and that surprises me somewhat, because they're missing, 2 of their 2 best players. Bob has been outstanding, absolutely a joy to watch. But Scotland are repeatedly vulnerable down the left. Norway getting in behind a number of times. They missed a sitter at the end, great block by Patterson, but Larsen has half a goal to aim at, and he aims at Nathan Patterson. I thought the penalty, I'd like to see it again. It looked fortunate to me. And then an own goal, that's an element of good fortune as well for Scotland. So I don't think Scotland they've played some nice stuff, but in terms of, it's been too loose. It's been too loose. Scotland are freewheeling a little bit. I'd like to see them game. I'd like to see them tighten up the game a bit. I know it's probably reducing in entertainment value, but I want to see them win this game.
Yeah, one of the things I do think, I don't know if the back 4 suits the players. I'm being serious. I think we look much more secure in a back 3 come 5. And I think that the goals have been preventable. And they'll probably think their goals as well have been preventable. But I mean, I've enjoyed the game of football, Tom. It's been a really, it's quite a technical game actually, and both teams have played really well in possession. I would say that both defences need to have a look at themselves. Yeah. There's been mistakes on both sides, but that's what's made the game entertaining.
It has, and like you have to caveat everything by saying this is not Scotland's top team, right? It's nowhere near Scotland's top defence. So while I look at the defence, I'm going, oh boy, that looks ropey. That's not what Scotland's defence is, or will be, hopefully, in Germany.
It's not Norway's top line attack either.
It's not, but Bob has introduced. He's a kid.
A real joy.
What a future he has! My goodness, he looks a serious player.
They played a lot of good football, Norway. They had a bit of fortune for both goals in terms of the deflections and went their way. But of course, Scotland had a bit of fortune as
both
well.
Our goals as well.
Penalty in the own goal.
Yeah, for all the good stuff that's been played, the goals have been a little bit kind of lucky,
Yeah, they've been deflected.
Yeah, so look, it's great entertainment. I'm sure everyone wants to see goals, but everyone wants to see a Scotland win. So we've had our entertainment first half. That's fine. That's great. How about locking this game down now and winning it? That would be quite nice.
A lot of talk beforehand about Jacob Brown.
Yeah,
I think the jury remains out. Well, maybe the jury has already decided, has it?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't know how you can judge him on this. He's run about. He's made runs that haven't been picked up. He's chased back. He's harried. He looks a bit light to me. He gets brushed off the ball a bit too easily.
He's got no presence, has he?
He doesn't have much presence, but he hasn't had a chance. He hasn't had anything remotely resembling a chance. So, yeah, he doesn't have a physical presence, but he's working hard. Can you judge a striker who hasn't had a chance?
I mean, he didn't have a chance in goal. There was one in the box where he maybe better control and he lost that. There was one he ran out of play down by the side. It's just little moments like that are not going to have the Tartan Army going, we need to get Jacob Brown in the squad.
I'd say it's a very frustrating experience for him because he knows he has to do something. Shanklin comes off the bench the other night, scores a goal in a few minutes, so he knows he has to do something tonight. Home crowd, and he has had nothing. He's had no sniff really, and I bet you Shanklin will come on and the game will have broken up by then, and there'll be a few chances and he'll score. Jacob Brown will just, will need smelling salts by the end of it.
Right, in terms of the first Scotland goal, of course, the penalty, John McGinn stepped up to take it. It means that he's now level with Kenny Miller on 18 goals for the national team. Only 5 players have scored more goals for Scotland in the history of the national team. They are Kenny Dalglish, Dennis Law, Hughie Gallagher, Laurie Riley and Ali McCoy. It's not bad.
What company to be keeping. Oh my gosh. Look, amazing. I'm not sure. Do you think it was a penalty? Did you think it was a penalty? I thought it hit his back of his shoulder.
I just find it very difficult to tell.
But anyway, it was given, and he stuck it away with great aplomb. Amazing, what a goal scoring record. It's freakish. And Scotland have scored plenty of goals in this group. We talk about the lack of a top class striker. Scotland aren't particularly short of goals. They find them because they've got goal scoring midfielders. They just don't have a consistent striker, a guy who can consistently put the ball in the net from centre forward. So they get the job done in that regard. It'd be nice to have somebody up there who could bang in the same number of goals as Scott McTominay or John McGinn.
Well, I think a lot of Scotland fans would feel that Lawrence Shankland may be that man, given what he's done at club level over a long period of time.
If he gets the opportunity, maybe Harvey Barnes is that man.
Well,
it'll be interesting, Richard.
We'll just stick with Scottish players for now, shall we?
If the game stays as it is and something happens over in Spain where Georgia get in front.
Yeah, it is 1-1 at half time now, that's been confirmed.
Yeah, so what happens then? Does Steve go chasing the goal? And what does he do then? They put Shanklin on? So that will tell you everything, wouldn't it, if he did?
I bet you Shanklin's coming on anyway, isn't he?
Well,
he's coming on, regardless of scenarios. I'd like to see him get a good half an hour. Shanklin.
Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about this the other night. I mean, he gets 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. It's just and for a renowned and proven goal scorer, it's perhaps surprising that he hasn't been given any longer. I mean, I don't think
he doesn't need any longer.
No, he doesn't. Well, he doesn't. Well, he might get more goals than just the one. I don't think any of us seriously entertain the prospect that Georgia might go and win in Valladolid. But I mean, that scoreline right now is surprising. 1-1. Look, an awful lot still has to happen, but the scenario that Liam painted right at the very start remains alive right now with 45 minutes left in the group. Scotland certainly have to feel that they have to just offer a bit more in terms of the final third. Yes, there's been a lot of nice football, Craig, and there's been some good moves. We haven't really peppered the Norwegian goal or forced the goalie to make saves, have we?
No, and I think we need to cross the ball more. I think we've been in good positions with plenty of support in the box. There was one early on that came in from the left-hand side that was cut out at the first post. That was probably the best ball that came into the box from Scotland. I think the Norwegians have been more inclined to put the ball in. Yeah, I just think we can do more of that. We can get down the sides a little bit more and get Patterson forward on the right, Taylor forward on the left, and throw the ball into the box and see if we can, get Norway on the back foot, because we've been probing and we've played some good football, but we haven't really peppered their goal at all.
I've got to say I'm delighted this is not a pivotal 90 minutes that's going to decide whether we head to the finals or not. We would be, we're quite relaxed, we're quite jovial up here in the stand.
I don't think the game would be like this.
Yeah,
no,
I'm sure it would.
Either,
I'm sure it would. Yeah. No, I'm sure the nerves would have been down there as well, and a very different approach from both sides, I'm sure. Scotland looking to, it would just be lovely. It would be lovely to get the win, in particular, to just round things off in terms of the qualifying campaign. Willie, you've had a few moments to ponder. It's been this back four again this evening. Is it confirming more and more to you that we are a back three, back five nation?
I think we're more comfortable at the back with the three central defenders, absolutely. I think there's much more responsibility, much more space to take care of, and I think we just look more secure when we've got the three Richard, and when you bring the wing backs back, and of course if all the players that we're thinking are our top players are going to be fit, then there's no doubt that we're playing three at the back, just from a personnel point of view. But listen, I think Steve Clarke's got every right to experiment and give these guys the opportunity, but I feel it's fragile. I think Norway have been the better side. They've certainly created the better opportunities. And as a makeshift Norwegian side too, as it is for Scotland. But it's probably telling Steve Clarke something. I think, as Craig says before the game, it is a bit of an experiment, particularly that back four. And I would say that he's probably made his mind up that it hasn't really worked, and that I would be very surprised if he doesn't revert back to the 3/5 at the back when the games are really important.
Well, the fans here for the party, of course. There will be the lap of honour afterwards. They seem to be in good spirits. I've seen a couple of goals from Scotland. The Norwegians certainly have threatened. Going to be interesting to see if the second half unfolds in the same way as the first, and whether indeed Scotland can get a grip in it and can get the win that would round the campaign off in the fashion that we all came along here hoping for this evening. 2-2 at half-time. The Norwegians twice in front through Donham and Larsson. Little bit of fortune, but there was a nice flick, nice awareness at the near post for the striker. Scotland levelling through John McGinn's penalty, and an Østigard own goal from Kenny McLean's flick. It has been entertaining stuff. The two sets of subs down there warming up, just going through their paces. The rain certainly was falling for large parts of the half. It's not that heavy, but it is still there. Clearly, Tom, there will be changes second half, and I'm sure Steve Clarke will be very keen indeed to finish this in a positive. I was going to ask Tom English, and I look around, he's not even there. He's whipped the headphones off, he's gone away in a strop, and he's coming back now. Craig, from a manager's point of view, he will be looking to finish this in a positive fashion.
Absolutely, and I think we'll see that in the second half. I think he will make substitutions. When you're having a celebration after the game, you want to do that on the back of a victory, Richard. So I think it'll be really important to Steve that we can get the victory in this match, and I'm sure he'll be sort of stressing that to the players at half-time. I think it makes the celebration even better if we're coming off the back of a victory.
We'll see if there are any half-time alterations. Down entirely, I guess, as to the approach that the manager was taking. The players are beginning to make their way back out. the vast majority of them seem to be there. Kenny McLean coming out now. He may well be the last of the outfield players. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. No indication right now that there will be any half-time changes. No sign of the Norwegians either. The referee and his assistants are out, and here come the visitors as well. It has been entertaining in the first 45 minutes. 4 goals shared. Let's hope that Scotland can get a grip and on the game and can get that awaited win to round things off for qualifying. About to get up and running live commentary here on Sports and BBC Radio Scotland with Willie Miller, Craig Levine and Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Richard. The final 45 minutes of Group A, and what a group it's been. Norway's 6th visit to face Scotland in a competitive match, and the first one since a goalless draw in 2008. Of course, best remembered for Fisiwelamu's open goal miss. Fairly ignominious afternoon for him personally, for the Scotland national team as well, in a campaign of toil. The only competitive loss to the Norwegians at home was in 2006 World Cup qualifying. A Stefan Iversen penalty after a handball by James McFadden on the goal line saw him sent off after conceding the spot kick. The Scots generally have a good record against Norway, winning 10 to their 3. The other 6 were drawn. As Callum McGregor prepares to get the second half underway, Scotland will kick from right to left, all in navy blue, against the Norwegians in the red tops, white shorts and socks. No changes for either team at the start of the second half. Long ball for Brown, comes all the way through to the goalkeeper Selvik. So it's Clark in goal, Patterson, Hendry, McKenna and Taylor, McTominay, McGregor, Armstrong, McGinn and McLean and Brown. Free kick Norway over on the far side. Norway going left to right in the second half towards the east stand. Scotland shooting towards Mount Florida. In the second half, the rain has eased off slightly. There's still a drizzle falling down. That long ball comes all the way through to Larsson, chasing after it. Goal side of Patterson, wide left in the box. Down he goes. No foul, says the referee. Larsson wins it back and thinks he's won a corner. The referee says goal kick, though. And Scotland will be pretty happy with that, you would have to say, though. Jorgen Strand Larsen is still arguing his case. The big Celta Vigo striker, 6'4" of him. Chances to start games for Norway at a premium for him, given the star man, as Brown chases down the left-hand side. He goes down, challenged by Ayer. The ref again happy with it. Dinked down the line by Ayer and out for a Scotland throw-in, which McGinn's taken really quickly to Brown. Left-hand side of the box, out to Taylor. Taylor looking to hit the byline here and try and win a corner, which he has done, as he wins it off Ryerson, who wags his finger at the referee, saying that was a goal kick, but it is going to be a Scotland corner under the lights here at the National Stadium. 2 apiece. First chance for Scotland to attack in the second half.
Yeah, it was a corner. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think it's Scott McTominay again, looking to deliver. These deliveries from the corner kicks have been pretty good so far.
A little false start there on this occasion, though, as he waits to take the ball just about touching the quadrant. The near side. It's a low one, it's poor, and it's easily away by Ryerson. He's having a little look at his boots, blaming his studs. It's McGregor. Oh, he and Patterson with a miscommunication. Patterson got there just in time to just boot it away and out into touch for a Norway throw-in on this near side, with 1 or 2 Norwegians bearing down on him.
Well, would McTominay not be better employed in the box with his height? He's good in the air, isn't he?
Yeah, you would think so, but
that's 2 corners that he's just hit along the ground.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of the set pieces will be making that decision.
As McGregor picks up on this near side, level with the penalty spot. Little ball in field, look for McGinn's cut out. Norway have it back. It's Oscar Bob down this near side, losing out to a combination of McGregor and Armstrong. Back to Taylor, who knocks it back to McKenna. He'll shift it into the centre circle for Hendry. Scotland have begun the second half on the front foot. That's exactly what Stevie Clarke would have been wanting, as the ball's fed forward to McTominay. Rolls it out to that right-hand side. And it's McLean looking to battle a corner. He's going to have to settle for a throw-in. That was met there on the far side by Bjorkan, and out for a throw into the Scots, level with the Norway penalty spot. North stand side, Patterson over it. A little bit of movement. Patterson's throw-in was pretty weak, but it might still bobble into the box. It's broken McTominay's way. Back out it comes to Patterson, takes a touch at the touchline, comes back the way, and Hendry bends a ball in. It was relatively useful, but headed away by Ustigor, and out for a Scotland throw-in over on the far side. It's been a good start the second half by the hosts.
That was better as well, with 4 players in the box there, and we did throw the ball in that time. We need to continue to do that.
A 2-2 here, 1-1 via the lead between Spain and Georgia. Scotland have a throw over on the far side. Almost level the edge of the D of the Norway box. Again, Patterson over it. His club side Everton, of course, penalised 10 points yesterday as it's bowled to the edge of the penalty box. Brown can't get it dug out from under his feet, and Norway clear from the edge of their own penalty area, and Hendry will go after it over on the far side. And he picks it up at walking pace, rolls it with the right foot out to Patterson. Infield it comes to McGregor, across the halfway line, showed too much of it to Berg. Out it goes for a Scotland throw-in, but it's gone Norway's way. A Norway throw-in. That's just important Scotland don't lose this game, given just the imagery and the symbolics of the whole occasion, the party atmosphere, and you don't want to lose a game at the tail end of the group, even though it wouldn't mean nothing to qualifying for the event they've already qualified for. Berg out to Bob on the right hand side, dancing into the Scotland box, rolls it to his right for Ryerson. Ryerson cuts back onto his left side, 3 Scotland players around him, forces it back outside the box to Bob. Good challenge in by Armstrong, he's done really well, and he wins the free kick himself off the Manchester City youngster. Down on this near side, Scotland 2, Norway 2.
Yeah, of course we want to win, and give the fans another victory and allow them to really enjoy themselves tonight. But even if we didn't, I don't think it's going to stop them. I do feel that it is a kind of a atmosphere where they want to congratulate the team and for their efforts and the fact that they've qualified. But sure, yeah, you want that victory. Steve Clarke has always said, the victory is the first thing in his mind, and not to get to beat as the second one. I think tonight at home you've got to look to take the 3 points.
The referee didn't like the challenge over there, and it's going to be a free kick against McLean. Norway have it deep inside their own, well, just around about the edge of their defending third, and a foul by McLean on Bjorkan. It was all over the back of him, and Ustigor is over the free kick. He decides to go back to his keeper. Brown chasing after it, but it's booted to safety by Selvik into the Scotland half. Hendry's header, McGregor helps it on its way, but it's Berg with a nodded header forward, picked up by McGregor, out to the right for Patterson, and infield for McKenna, who finds Hendry. Hendry holding it up and passing it to his central defensive partner McKenna. Out to Greg Taylor on this near side down the line. Here's Brown getting it under control, left hand side of the box, and then shows too much of it to the Norwegian defenders, 2 of them. Armstrong's battling to win it back, and he's done that. Infield here for Taylor, back to Armstrong, infield to Brown. He can't make it stick though, although he's done well to, under pressure from Berg, slide it back to Hendry. Out to the right hand side for Patterson, moves infield, rolls it to Callum McGregor. McGregor's ball into the box for Armstrong, might be in an offside position there. Armstrong has it, rolls it back the way to Taylor, his cross cut out by Berga. Bouncing ball, Armstrong will let it go behind for the corner, under pressure from Bob. Scotland corner, 2-2, 52 and a half on the clock.
Well, it's certainly been a good start from Scotland. They've dominated. They've dominated the game, they've dominated possession. No chances yet in the second half, really. Scott McTominay getting the opportunity to deliver a better ball in. As I was saying before he took the last one, most of his deliveries. It is. No, it's
Armstrong taking this one,
isn't it?
They did share the corners in the first half from this side. McTominay's taking his place in the box. Here is Armstrong with the corner into the 6-yard area. It's headed away. The referee spots something, blows the whistle. Norway free kick. Scotland 2, Norway 2.
Don't know what that was for. Didn't see anything but a referee right on top of it, and the pressure being taken off. Must have been a little tug.
Greg Taylor blocked one of their players right in front of the referee.
A block in the penalty box. You don't see that too often these days.
Yes, Scott McTominay still, I'm sure, rueing Jack Henry's involvement in what was otherwise an excellent goal, scored a brilliant goal, in fact, scored in Spain last month. Wonder how many times Scott McTominay has relived that in his mind when he's gone to bed over the last 4 weeks. Plenty, I would have thought. Berge for Norway, just knocking it back to the edge of his box. It's the keeper turning it to Østegård, and then out to Bjorkan. It's back to Selvik. Under pressure from Brown, who charges him down, and he goes behind for the goal kick. Well, lively from Jordan Brown, who's trying to win over the Tartan Army tonight. You would have to say his place in Steve Clarke's 23 must be one of those that is up for debate going into the finals next summer. And just those 4 friendly matches left to impress the national manager ahead of the tournament starting in Germany in 7 months' time. Norway ball straight out for a Scotland throw-in on this near side. Taylor is over it, but level the edge of the D of the Norway box.
I must admit, I find that tactic hard to believe when there's a high press from Scotland and the 2 centre-backs are in the 6-yard box, and the goalkeeper, they play it back to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper's got no option.
There's Brown, just left-hand side of the box, back to McGinn. Under pressure from Bob. McGinn taking it out towards the corner. Flaggy's done well, he's away from one, fires it across, and Armstrong with an unorthodox effort with his back to goal puts it wide of the left-hand post, and it will stay Scotland 2, Norway 2. 10 into the second half. It's been a good second half from Scotland so far. It has been
a great start. Again, John McGinn doing what John McGinn does. He's just bulldozing people out the road. And again, I like to see an end product, Liam. So he puts the ball in the box. I mean, it's an unorthodox attempt at a finish by Armstrong, but at least we're getting first contact on a ball that comes into the box.
Yeah, but playing higher up the park as well, aren't we? I think Steve Clarke's asked the midfield players to get a little bit closer to Norway and put them under pressure, not give them as much time as they had in the first half, and really by doing that, they're not coping with it particularly well.
Well, they haven't had the same amount of possession in Scotland's half as they did in the first half.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's because when Scotland lost the ball, they would just go back into their own half and allow the Norwegians to have possession, but they're not doing that in the second.
That's poor from Patterson, although he's redeemed the situation as he slides in on the Norway defender. Here's McTominay picking it up wide on the right-hand side, midway inside his own half. Now with McGregor, who finds McKenna. McKenna out to Stuart Armstrong on this near side, plays it off Ryerson, and out for a Scotland throw-in. And Scottish left, right in front to Stevie Clarke, down the edge of his technical area. Ståle Solbakken into his right, the Norway coach, legend in Denmark as well, with his exploits in charge of FC Copenhagen over many seasons. As Taylor waits to take the throw down in this near side. Straight forward, here's Armstrong. It's over the head of Ausnes. One back by McLean, but again the referee didn't like the robust nature of the challenge by McLean, and that will be a free kick for Donham and for Norway, just outside the centre circle in their own half. It's passed back there to Østegård. Ayer, and chased by Jacob Brown. Out to this near side, it comes to Ryerson. Steps infield from Armstrong, finds Berg, and not back into their own half for Ayer. He finds Østegård. Norway haven't really got a hold of things in this second half. It's 57 on the clock, 2 apiece. There's Oscar Bob driving forward and now moving infield to a central area, and there's space out on that far side. Patterson doesn't commit to the challenge. Norway have it with Donham inside the box, across the face of the goal, and Clarke holds on. And it remains Scotland 2, Norway 2. It's the first time Norway have flickered into life since the break.
Well, I hope it's not a sign of things to come. That was a good play down the left-hand side, but Bob was fantastic again there, wasn't he?
No, he was. Not just taking on the 2 Scotland players, but also the weight of the pass out to Donham in the far side there. And it was one of these ones where, it's teasing Patterson to go and get it, but he's never getting there. And it gives the winger an opportunity to have the strike. It was a poor strike at the end of it, but wonderful play.
And McGinn being fouled all over the place by Berge, who'll be booked for that. I mean, so difficult to keep John McGinn under lock and key, and Berge was grabbing his torso for what seemed like an eternity there, and the free kick goes Scotland's way in the end.
Yeah, well, he did book the
this time
player on this occasion.
Yeah, it's similar to the incident we saw in the first 90 seconds of the match.
Just a different outcome.
There's Patterson with the ball. It's a good one. Oh, and Brown's there, but he can't make contact. It goes through his legs and comes out to this near side. The goal was gaping for Jacob Brown, but he cannot take the chance. That was his opportunity. Will he get another? Here's McGinn, pulls it back for Armstrong. Goal! That's more like it. Stuart Armstrong fires the ball into the bottom left corner to send Hampden Park into ecstasy, and not for the first time this year. It's been a dream year, a dream campaign, and Scotland lead on party night. Scotland 3, Norway 2.
Well, what about John McGinn's contribution to that goal was absolutely wonderful. That wee reverse pass that he's played into the path of Stuart. The supporting run that Stuart made is excellent, but McGinn, that doesn't even look. It's just a blind pass and right into Armstrong's path, and he finds the bottom corner. What a brilliant piece of play by both players, actually, but McGinn is fantastic.
Yeah, it was. And you're right, it doesn't look, he knows exactly where Armstrong's going to be, and he cuts it back brilliantly. Well, but if we go back, you feel for Jacob Brown, don't you? You know, that is a magnificent opportunity for him. See if he just gets anything on it. If he gets anything on it, it's a goal. It seemed to maybe he was unsighted. The cross came in, it was a brilliant cross in from the right hand side, and it seemed to go through his legs, Craig.
I don't know if he misjudged it or what happened, in all honesty. We've not had a chance to see it again, but it was the type of opportunity that strikers are begging for, weren't they? So yeah, and then it'll be quickly forgotten because, of course, Stuart Armstrong's managed to put us in front. What's the score over in Spain?
Well, yeah, now just one Georgian goal away from topping the group. Little goal check there. Not sure what that was for. Spain have just gone 2-1 up, Craig.
I wish I'd never asked.
Yeah, 2-1 in Valladolid to Spain against the Georgians. Scotland lead this game, but to win the group they need Georgia to end Spain's magnificent home European Championship qualifying record. As Scotland come again, McGinn rolls it wide right hand side. Chance here for McLean. McLean looking for space to cross. He finds some space. It's a deep one, but it's wide. It's a goal kick. 61 on the clock. Scotland 3, Norway 2, and Stuart Armstrong's 5th international goal as Scotland in front. And he took it just really well. I mean, he's always been an extremely graceful footballer, Stuart Armstrong, but he had the calmness of mind just to side foot the ball home with the right into the bottom left. An outstanding finish.
It was, but he had to wrestle the ball back as well down at the corner flag, wasn't it? It was really out of nothing that he's managed to produce possession and set John McGinn in, but the McGinn cutback is fabulous. You know, he doesn't look, knows exactly what he's trying to do. He's anticipating Armstrong getting there, and then when Armstrong gets there, keeps his calm, low, and strikes it into the back of the net. And Scotland deserve it. They've started the second half really on top.
And how much appetite do the Norwegians have now to fight to the end?
They've made a couple of changes, Craig, just in the wake of the goal there. They've taken off Ausnes and Dunham was the other, and they brought on Christian Thorsvedt and Mohamed El Yannousi, formerly of Celtic. So those are the changes that have been made by Ståle Solbakken. I think he was going to make those changes anyway, but make them he has. And of course El Yannousi nowadays at Copenhagen, having previously been at Southampton, saw his old Southampton buddy Stuart Armstrong give Scotland the lead for the first time in the match. Here is Sander Berge though for the Norwegians, sliding in. McGinn, he's pulled something in the act of doing so. There's John McGinn. He's just feeling the small of his bat, getting himself back to his feet. Just now looks like he's okay, fortunately, but it is going to be a Norwegian corner down on this near side as we approach 63.
He's not got hamstrings anyways. Iron rods he's got on his thighs. It is.
He's something else. So the referee sorting things out inside the box. Looks like he's wanting to speak to a couple of players. Ustegar is one of them, and he and Scott McKenna, Nathan Patterson's the other. He was getting involved as well. And, Patterson's face was grazed by Ustegor's arm. McKenna being spoken to as well by the Romanian referee. And it's going to be a Norway corner, which Bob takes into the box, headed away by Armstrong, and out of play for a throw-in. That's Stuart Armstrong again, just reminding Stevie Clarke what he's all about. Doesn't get too many starts. He started the first game in this campaign. That's his first goal since he scored in Armenia in the Nations League last June. Just a little reminder, I'm pretty sure Stuart Armstrong would be in the 23 anyway. And of course set up the equaliser in Tbilisi, the second equaliser the other night from the bench for Shankland, as Bob turns it back to the centre circle, having made nothing of the corner. He's back out to Ryerson on this near side. Infield for Berge, attacking the Scotland box now. Ryerson's on the right hand side. Here's Berge. His cross is cut out by Taylor. Behind for another Norway corner on this near side.
Well, Scotland having to defend really, in depth for the first time in the second half, and putting up a really strong barrier in front of the Norwegians. The Norwegians a little bit more anxious to get the game forward into the Scotland half and win another corner.
And it comes from Patrick Baird. It's not the worst. Flicked away by McLean, breaks to the edge of the area, and the shot, which was a decent effort actually by Bjorkan, is blocked. Pings out to that left hand side. Ryerson on his unfamiliar left hand side up against Hendry. Long deep ball out to the right, looking for Bob. Armstrong can't prevent another Norway corner. This is their third since going behind for the first time this evening. Scotland 3, Norway 2.
Well, again, defending well. I think it was Jack Hendry that went ahead and then put the ball under pressure, from the last corner. But, at this time, when you are under pressure, you've just got to be organised, you've got to be disciplined, and you've got to make sure that you go and you win that first ball.
Bob is over it. It's a low one back towards the edge of the box for Elyounoussi. Puts it into the area. It's cut out and cleared, and he almost managed to get it onto the head of Larsson. It would have been very difficult for him to be able to do anything with it, though. Scotland turn it out for a throw-in on this near side, but it's bowled back to Ryerson, who finds Ustegor. Middle of the pitch. Scotland going to make a couple of changes. Lewis Ferguson and Lyndon Dykes are being spoken to by Austin McPhee in the big yawning technical areas here at the National Stadium. Taylor clips it forward. It comes off the head of Ryerson. Picked up on this near side by Berge, and infield to Berg. Forward to Elyounoussi. To Berg, right of the centre circle. Short ball to Berge again. Bob ahead of him, wants it, gets it. Skips infield away from McGregor. Central area, it's not a great pass. Cut out there by Patterson, but Elyounoussi picks it up. Short ball to the left for Bjorkan. Back out to Elyounoussi. Level with the edge of the D. Elyounoussi moving infield. Eventually rolls it to Bjorkan, and back it comes to Ustegor. Scotland holding their line here. Leading 3-2. Can they finish this group with a victory? A 2-goal victory, and they'd be pot 2 for the Euro 24 draw next month. Here come the Norwegians with Elyounoussi again picking up, seeing lots of the ball since coming on. It's now with Bob, right of the D. Out to Ryerson, right hand side of the box, gets his ball in, headed half away, and surely Armstrong will be able to dump it clear. Here he has done. He's given something for Jacob Brown to chase, but Ayer gets there first. Claims he was fouled, but he's able to hold off Brown and roll it back to Ustegor. We move towards the final quarter of this final match in Euro 2024 qualifying Group A.
Well, you're going to be under pressure at times in the game. Scotland started so well, but Norway have since recovered from that first goal of the second half, and have started to take a little bit of control of the game. But Scotland seem quite happy with that. They seem quite content in their shape. They don't look as though they're going to be breached at this point.
Back with Zander Clark, first time inside the 6-yard box with the right foot. Long ball into the Norway half. It's over the head of Brown, and will break back to Ryerson on this near side, and the Dortmund full-back finds the Napoli centre-back Ustegor. Forward to Berg, one of the handful of Norway players in the starting 11 who ply their trade in their homeland. He does so with the champions Bodø Glimt. Being pushed this season by Brann, who have been the second best club in Norway. Just a couple of games left the Norwegian League season. And clip ball forward by Ustegard. Comes off McGregor, breaks Brown's way. McGinn to his right. Brown through the legs of the defender, out to the right hand side for Patterson, or McLean. Patterson on the underlap. McLean comes back to McGregor, shuffles away from Bob, who body checks him, but the referee says it's okay, and Bob's away for Norway. Rolling it to the left for Larsson. It's not a great ball. Larsson is able to keep it in though. Over on the far side, McKenna comes to meet him. Larsson rolls it to the edge of the box here. Bergau takes a touch, back onto his left side, then back onto his right, to the right hand side. Ryerson who shoots. It's wide of the left hand post on the reverse side of the goal frame, and it stays Scotland 3, Norway 2 as the Tartan Army boo because they felt Callum McGregor should have had a free kick inside the Norway half for the body check by Bob.
Yeah, I think possibly they've got a case there. It looked like a free kick, but Ryerson, I'm glad he went for the strike there. They had three options in the box. I think maybe taking it a little bit, another touch forward, and then whipping it across the face of the goal. We could have been in some kind of a bother, but all these changes be made now. Liam, 3
of them actually. Christie's coming on as well as Ferguson and Dykes. McLean is coming off. Well, when you look back at this campaign, there have been some massive moments, but none more so than Kenny McLean. He's getting a special ovation as he comes off here. That late winner in Oslo against the Norwegians was a goal of our times. Brown coming off as well, and so too Armstrong, who at the moment is the Scots winning this game. Let's start with the performance, Craig, of Jacob Brown. What have you made of him?
I thought he was quite erratic this evening. It wasn't as secure as I would have liked when the ball came into him. He had a good chance to score. That'll be the thing, I'm sure, that will be in his mind as he walks off the field. He had a good opportunity to score. I mean, he ran about and worked hard. There's no worries about that at all. But I don't know if he's done an awful lot to impress Steve tonight.
Ryan Christie moves on to 45 caps as he closes in on a place in the Hall of Fame. He is likely to be the 37th to do so. Certainly in the pecking order. I haven't seen a couple of players crashing through that recently. So Dykes rather than Shankland has come on as Norway come down the left with Elyounoussi. Cross cut out. Norway have yet another corner with less than 20 of the 90 to play. Scotland 3, Norway 2. Willie, quite surprised it was Dykes rather than Shankland, given we know what Lyndon Dykes can do for this team.
Yeah, I would say a little bit, yeah. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. We know the capabilities of Dykes. I think Shankland getting that late goal probably deserves the opportunity. Might get the opportunity yet, of course.
Norway corner in from Berg, flicked well wide and high as well by Thorsvedt, one of the Norwegian subs, and it will be a goal kick to Scotland as they try and finish this group in the most positive way possible. Both they and Spain lead though, so the status quo would remain in the final table in Group A, with Spain winning the section by 2 points from Scotland, and Scotland would ultimately finish 9 clear of Norway. And the draw was made. You saw Spain in there, you saw Norway with Odegaard and Haaland in particular, you saw Georgia with Kvaratskhelia. It really looked an awesome challenge, but those 5 successive wins at the start of the group just unlocked the key to all kinds of sensations. Here is Sander Berge. He's come pretty deep for this, the Burnley man. He's out on this near side with Ryerson, trying to turn away from Christie, who fouls him. Free kick to Norway on the near side, and it's obviously a sore one for Julian Ryerson because he's still down. Christie making sure he's okay. Just signed that new deal at Bournemouth as Ryan Christie. But he's another Craig who's going to be going over the 50 cap mark in the very, very near future, probably at the championship itself.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Ryan Christie will be the next to hit the 50 cap mark.
Right, what is he on just now?
This is his 45th tonight.
45th.
So he had 4 friendlies in between now and the tournament, so that'll take him onto the 49.
Yeah.
So he would potentially earn his 50th in game 1 at the Euros.
He'll be on the flight to Germany, won't he?
Has to be, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, without doubt.
Ryan Christie's a goal scorer of one of the most important goals in recent history. The Scottish national team, his goal in Belgrade against Serbia. Okay, it went to penalties. Wouldn't have gone to penalties if it not been for Ryan Christie, and it was an outstanding goal as well that he scored in Serbia in the playoff final to reach Euro 2020. But they'll have learned so much, because it was, the 2 games here were chastening experiences against the Czechs and the Croatians. And they're looking to become the first Scotland side to come through a group. See Stevie Clark down there with James Morrison, who took part in so many campaigns. Craig might be new, gave him his debut actually for Scotland, James Morrison. So many almost was moments for James Morrison and his teammates back in those days.
Yeah, he's a good player, James. Played a lot of games down in England, and mostly in the Championship, I think, but he was in the Premier League for a while as well.
West Brom legend, isn't he? As Norway pick up, Torsvedt out to Bob on this near side, skips away from Christie, looks up, but he runs into Ferguson, wins it back. Christie then won it back for Scotland, but the free kick's been given in any case to the home team. 74 on the clock, Scotland 3, Norway 2.
Yeah, still pretty open game, isn't it? You know, I don't think Scotland are trying to close it out. You know, I don't think that the formation was still good to 3 up top as well. The second half's been much more positive, isn't it? Maybe that was a tactic right from the start, is to, you know, try to keep it a little bit tighter and a little bit more organised and give them possession in the first. But certainly in the second, it's been much more on the front foot for Scotland.
The second half display has been much better, both defensively, especially defensively actually, and in an attacking sense. Yeah, there's still been some really good performances today. I mean, John McGinn again has been outstanding. McTominay's been a wee bit quieter than he's been recently, and we've still managed to score 3 goals, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's not got one of them. He'll be feeling most perturbed about that. Berga knocks it forward, one back by Patterson. Dykes gives chase, Ayer gets it away. Actually a good bit of defending, sweeping there by Ayeris from Bjorkan. And Dykes there, of course, got the salvation operation underway in Norway in June, and that equaliser paved the way for Kenny McLean's oh so crucial winner. Norway giving it away, Patterson on the far side infield, but it's cut out, a bit sloppy from both teams just now. It's Ferguson wins it back for Scotland, finds McGinn, rifles it into the box, and Ayer clears, knowing his former Celtic teammate Ryan Christie was waiting behind him. Here's El Yanusi driving down that left hand side, skipping infield into the midfield, into the centre circle, ushering out to Oscar Bob on this right hand side. Christie facing him. Bob then infield to Berg, out to Ryerson, infield to Berga, and then Ryerson to Berg, to Ryerson, low ball back into his own half for Ayer. Dykes is there chasing after Christopher Ayer, he dinks it forward, looking for Bob, one in the air by McKenna, and out for a throw-in on this near side to Norway. 76.5 on the clock, Scotland 3, Norway 2. The domestic action then will return in the foreseeable future as the international game goes into storage for 4 months, apart from the draw in Germany next month, of course. Really good cup tie to get the domestic game kicked back underway on Friday night under the lights at East End Park. Dunfermline Athletic against Raith Rovers, Fife Derby for a place in round 4 in the Scottish Cup, followed by more cup third round ties at the weekend and the league action for the Premiership as El Yanusi comes forward. He's been chopped to the ground by McGinn.
No, I'm sorry,
McGinn's hurt
but
himself
that's not
doing
a
that.
yellow card. What is?
He's hurt himself as well, John McGinn, but you do feel that would have been worthy of a caution. Ryan Jack's going to be on shortly.
I think he's hurt himself, is it? John McGinn, it's a really awkward one. I think it's knee on knee, is it?
Yeah, I think it might be, Willie. He doesn't lie down very often, does he?
No.
And again, he's getting himself back to his feet. Looked like he hurt himself in the first half as well. No, he's back down.
Yeah. That is a really sore one. That you know, watching the replay, he's holding his shin, but for me it was more his knee. I thought there was a collision on knees, but certainly leg on leg there, the bone on bone as well. So he's not going to take any further part in this game.
No, he's coming off. Jack will come on, and the captain's armband goes to Callum McGregor. Let's listen to the ovation that John McGinn's going to get. The best Scotland teams over the years, over the decades, have had a talisman, and this guy is right up there. And you look back at some of those that have graced Scotland teams in the past: Billy Bremner, Kenny Dalglish, Dennis Law. And then in more recent years, the likes of James McFadden. John McGinn is a Tartan Army darling, and he's off to be replaced by Ryan Jack, who gets the odd appearance. He does make the starting 11 every now and again. He's recently gone through the 200 appearance mark with Rangers. And Ryan Jack is on for the closing 11 minutes or so as a yellow card is flashed at a Norwegian this time, and it's a group of players down there just getting involved in pushing and shoving, and the referee isn't appreciating it.
Scott McKenna. I mean, Scott McKenna should have been booked. I don't know if he was booked there, but he was a culprit.
Ryan Jack on for his 28th cap. Spain have gone 3-1 up, so you can forget winning the group now. Clip ball into the penalty area for Norway from the free kick, and it's going to bounce harmlessly behind for the goal kick. He couldn't keep it in despite the best efforts of Leo Ustigard, and that's going to be a goal kick. But hey, you'd have taken second spot before a ball was kicked in this group, would you not?
All day long. I mean, the fact that we run Spain so close is actually really quite exciting as well.
Oh, bang level on the head-to-head, wasn't it? The head-to-head's not going to come into it as Clark clears from the goal kick towards Dykes. Loses a header, would you believe? It's just Ustigard gets up there and then it's fired back towards the Norwegian goal, which was just a punt forward, hopeful punt, and it's gone wide of the right-hand post, and that'll be a goal kick to be taken by Selvik. The Scotland supporters have been invited to remain inside Handon after the game to acclaim this team of heroes. I'm sure the vast majority of them will. As Ayer drives up towards the halfway line, rolls it out to Ryerson. Still work to be done here for Scotland, who lead 3-2. Ryerson on the near side, infield to Berge, turning away from McGregor. And moving back onto halfway, where he goes back to Ayer, who's under pressure from McGregor, chasing down his old club mate, but Ayer's found Ryerson winding the right low ball in. It's cut out there, but it's still alive here. It was blocked by Taylor. Here's Sander Berge just outside the D, rolls it to the left. Bjorkan to Elyounoussi, three waiting in the middle. One of them's Larsson's, a flick towards goal, and a really good save by Zander Clark. Still alive here for Norway. Ryerson clips it back in. Elyounoussi goes for it. Scotland get it half away. They come again with Berge, right hand side of the box. In comes the cross. It's flicked off the top of a Norwegian head, but it goes away to safety. It was Thorsvedt. Still Norway have it, though, wide on the left. In comes the cross again, headed away by McGregor. Now with Elyounoussi, level with the penalty spot, left hand side of the Scotland box. Now he's at the left angle, under pressure from Jack, and shifts it out to the left hand side. Cross comes in towards Larsson, headed away by Hendry. McTominay is on to it. He's actually got the armband. Looked like Callum McGregor was getting it, but it's McTominay who's going to captain the Scots. And as long as he's on the pitch now, as Patterson goes down and gets the free kick over on that far side, almost on 82. Scotland 3, Norway 2.
It's a good save, isn't it? I think Zander Clark will be more than happy with his reaction to that one. Elyounoussi putting in the cross, and he's got to dive to, and he does everything right there as well, Craig. You know, he doesn't want that to come back out into play. He wants to try and push it wide. He gets it wide enough so that it takes it out of danger.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it would have been disappointing if he hadn't saved it, but it was still a good save.
I think, but you know, when the header comes in, it's a greasy surface. It's coming off the surface. I'm thinking, don't try to hold it. You know, take care of the ball properly. Just put it out, because you know you try to hold it in these surfaces, because there has been a lot of rain here tonight as well. And I thought he made the right decision.
He got it spot on.
It was an OG that put Spain 3-1 up in Valladolid against Georgia tonight. Spain will win Group A. They and Scotland will take their places in the draw in 13 days' time in Hamburg. Only one to look forward to, and that's made on that Saturday evening. Scotland free kick, Callum McGregor with it left-footed, switching the play out to Patterson, heads it into the box. It's Headed away by Larsson. Jack trying to keep it alive. Down the right he goes. Can he get there to keep it in? He can prevent the goal kick and put it out for a throw-in over on that far side. 83 played.
Yeah, it's worth the effort, that, isn't it? You know, just to keep the pressure on rather than it just being a goal kick and allowing them possession. Okay, they've got the throw-in, but they've still got to keep possession. Yeah, you know, so you're still asking questions.
Chip ball forward. It's flicked on by Thorsvedt. Chasing it is Hendry. He's lost out, but the referee blows the whistle. Says it's a foul by Larsson, and Scotland have a free kick almost bang on the halfway line in front of the North Stand over on that far side.
I don't know if there was an awful lot in that at all.
No.
Jack was a wee bit
I think he made it look you know, a worse challenge than what it was. I think there was contact, but you know, it's two big strong players there going together, and I think Jack Henry realised that Larsson possibly was going to get the better of him.
Another date for your diaries, the Nations League draw, which is in Paris on the 8th of February next year, a couple of months after the Euro draw, and it will be again part linked with qualification for the World Cup finals. So that's going to be huge. Scotland, of course, in League A for that. Some big guns here next autumn as Taylor picks up on this left-hand side, level the edge of the D. Slipping it infield, McGregor leaves it for Jack. Rolls it out to Christie on this near side. Back to Ryan Jack at the edge of the box. He's forced away from goal, though. Square ball to Christie, whose teammates at Aberdeen once upon a time. As Hendry shifts it out to the right-hand side for Patterson. Infield for Jack. Back to Patterson. Takes a touch with the right foot. Prods it forward to Ferguson. Now Jack to McTominay inside the box. Good build-up. McTominay's efforts blocked by Oostegor. Picked up by McTominay again wide in the right. Back to Ryan Jack. And out to Patterson. Scotland looking for another one here. Patterson fires it in, but it's a comfortable enough take and is near post by Selvik. And it stays Scotland 3, Norway 2 into the final 5 of the 90. Scotland scored again. A 2-goal victory would elevate them to pot 2 for the draw. A 2-goal victory would do that tonight.
But do we want that, Liam?
Personally, no, I don't think so. But it's difficult to sit here and say don't score again. Here's Ryerson down the right for Norway. They don't want Norway scoring. It's a chip ball into the box and it's headed in by Elyounoussi. Elyounoussi equalises for Norway. Stealing in at the back post. He gets to the end of Ryerson's cross and heads home. And it's Scotland 3, Norway 3.
That's a brilliant cross, you've got to say, from Ryerson, though, isn't it? Down
stands
that,
up, yeah.
Down that right-hand side. You know, wonderful pass to him as well. I think they'll check it for offside. Might be a tight call. But when he looks up, he knows exactly what he's doing. Alexander Clark possibly should have just stayed in his line. He's not getting it. If he stays in his line, he's maybe got a chance of getting it. But Elyounoussi just ghosts in at the back post, and because Clark's out his goal, it's just an easy header into the back of the net.
Yeah, disappointing, isn't it, so late in the match? But I mean, the quality of the ball into the box is what's made the goal.
Well, a 6-goal thriller to round off the campaign. It's not done yet. Scotland have still got time to win this. Goal confirmed. Mohamed Elyounoussi scores. It's a former Celtic man. It's a wonderful ball from Ryerson. I mean, that's what's unlocked it. But yeah, perhaps Xander Clark will be disappointed that he's committed himself. It's kind of drifted away from him. So we go into the final 3 of the 90 here. 3-3.
Yeah, Liam, he will be. He'll be disappointed. I think you could see the reaction. He's made his mind up that perhaps he might be able to get something on it. But in truth, I think it's well over his hand.
As soon as he's taken 2 steps forward, he's beat.
He's made his mind up, yeah. You know, but it's such a cute dink cross, you know. It's got quite a lot of height on it, the cross. It's not driven in. It's that dink towards the back post. He sees Elyounoussi and he picks him out.
Now Scotland staring at 5 games without a win. That's not ideal. Won't take the shine off qualification quite clearly, but
time yet.
Yeah.
Shanklin's on.
Well, I think they were behind to the Norwegians by this time, weren't they, in Oslo? It was 87-89. They turned it around. It was a handball there, I think, was it? No, foul on Larsson. Free kick Norway on the halfway line. Now they might fancy winning it as well. It's going to be changes for both teams. Marcus Pedersen the Norwegian defender, is going to come on, and Lawrence Shankland is going to come on and will be asked to try and replicate his heroics in Tbilisi the other night.
Yeah, and he's capable, and we know that, so he gets that opportunity with less than 2 minutes of normal time to play. So just go and do what you're good at doing, put the ball in the back of the net.
I don't think he'll get 2, but he might get 1.
Long ball Norway, Ustigor, but he's off target with a big switch out to this right-hand side, and it just skips away. There are some empty seats now inside Hampden, supporters heading off. It is a Sunday night, people have work, people have school tomorrow, so you can understand why fans would want to try and beat the traffic, especially if you don't live in the area. Callum McGregor's replaced by Shankland. And a little round of applause for Callum McGregor as well. Norway are going to take off Oscar Bobb, who impressed Craig certainly this evening. He looks a real talent, and he's going to be replaced by Sassuolo's Marcus Pedersen in the closing seconds.
He's diminutive, but a football brain he's got. Fantastic, and his technical ability.
Throw in for Scotland on this near side. Taylor level with his own 18. A 6-goal thriller. Pulled forward there to Shankland, and he was being fouled. Free kick Scotland on this near side. Level with the edge of the centre circle.
Good play. I mean, just on the field of play. You know, the throw-in, it's not easy. He's got a couple of players round about him, a couple of Norwegian players. He's got to show strength and touch, and he wins the free kick. We want to see him a little bit further up the park, although up beside Dykes, and you know, hopefully that combination can get that 4th goal.
Headed from McTominay's going to go out for a throw into Norway though on this near side, as we go into stoppage time, which will be 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes of this campaign. Can Scotland find a winner? 3-3 is the scoreline. Twice they came behind, once they led, and after all of that, it's a level game. Ryerson with the throw in down this near side. Berga wins the throw off McTominay. As long as they don't lose the game, you know, finish this campaign with the only defeat being away to the top seed, and former world and 3-time European champions. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I think everybody will be happy with that. I mean, it'd be nice though. We've scored some late goals, Wally, haven't we? Not you and I, but the lads here. So just keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, they have done, but I understand, but it really doesn't matter. You know, the hard work's been done. I can understand the fact, and you know, Steve Clarke would be unhappy if you know, they didn't at least get a draw out of this game. But at the same time, you know, when you get qualification, then that's the job done. That's what Steve Clarke is there to do. That's what this set of players is there to do. You can then, Tom says it's a job half done. I think the job has been done, but you're then on to the second phase of the job, and that's to try and qualify out whichever group they get. And is it the 2nd of December, Liam, the draw is made?
Yep.
So whatever draw they get, the next important task for them is to get themselves out of whichever group they're drawn in.
Yeah, and where they're going to be playing. 10 host cities in Germany. And Scotland fans, many, have already booked their travel. And the transport network in Germany obviously is excellent. And games in Berlin, Munich, Dortmund, Stuttgart, Gelsenkirchen, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Dusseldorf, Cologne and Leipzig. So lots of familiar cities there. At least familiarly named cities, as Jack picks it up in the middle of the pitch on the halfway line, out to Patterson and back to Ryan Jack, and now McTominay. And really suckered Norway late in the piece in this group. Going to do so again. McTominay wins the free kick. 2 of the 3 have been played of stoppage time.
Well, we chance here. It's a set piece. It's a free kick. It's not within shooting distance. It's quite far out, but it is Ryan Jack with the right foot, and he's looking just to make it a good delivery. Just ask questions of the Norwegian defence.
10 yards from the far side touchline, lofts the floated delivery into the box. It bounces away from everyone out to Taylor on the near side, tries to win the corner, hasn't done so. Goal kick, says the ref, despite Taylor's protests, and it will stay Scotland 3, Norway 3. Be interesting to see what Stevie Clarke makes of this game today. Because you don't see Steve Clarke in charge of too many 3-3 draws.
No, I mean, I think he'll talk mainly about the whole campaign. I don't know if there'd be too much to talk about this evening in some regards. So I think he'll be really pleased about how things have gone. The qualification is the most important thing, and that's him achieved 2 qualifications. So I think these will be the messages he wants to get across this evening, and I think that's what the fans want to hear and talk about as well.
I think as long as they don't lose it, he'll be happy, won't he? I think that his mantra most of the time.
Shanklin chases a long ball, but the goalkeeper comes and clutches at his feet, the edge of his box. So we move towards the final minute of the 5 that were added on. Stale Solbakken down there is still urging his players forward in search of a winner. It would be the smallest sliver of revenge if they were to find one, Norway, because they know that their campaign was done as soon as Kenny McLean finished that wonderful move off in Oslo. One of those goals you can watch time and time again. And Scotland pick up a free kick in the centre circle. Jack's over it. This could be the last opportunity to win this match in the last minute of this group. Jack with it, long to the right-hand side of the box. Patterson almost managed to catch. Jack Hendry almost managed to get his right foot on it and turn it across goal, but he couldn't get a touch on the ball, and it goes behind for the goal kick. And that, Craig Levein, looks like being that, a 3-3 draw.
The ball,
well, they're putting the T-shirts on. They went off the Germany T-shirts. The subs, whether the unused subs or the guys who've come off the pitch having started the game, they're all getting the T-shirts on.
I mean, I watched Shanklin there, and if Jack Henry managed to get anything on that, Shanklin was across the front post, and I'm convinced he would have scored.
The campaign from heaven comes to an end. A draw with Norway. Looked like they were going to win the match. That Stuart Armstrong goal, but El Yunusi popping up with the equaliser denies Steve Clarke victory on the final match day in Group A. But it does not matter a jot. It does not matter. Scotland had the job done before tonight, and it's a good job that this match wasn't in the high stakes variety, given how open it was. Dunham giving Norway the lead in 3 minutes. McGinn's penalty made it 1-1. Larsson restored the Norwegian lead before Oostegård's own goal after McLean's header made it 2 apiece at the break. Armstrong just before the hour mark made it 3-2 before his old Celtic and Southampton teammate El Yunusi popped up with a header 2 minutes from the end of the 90 to salvage a draw for Norway, who will not be at the European Championship finals next summer. Do you know what? This is the 19th of November. The 19th of November, 20 years ago, in 2003, Scotland's hopes of qualifying for Euro 2004 were extinguished spectacularly in Amsterdam by the Netherlands. And that second leg hammering. Roll on 2 decades. And it's nothing but joy for these Scotland players and Scotland supporters. The big screens say we are off to Germany, and that is where Steve Clarke and his players are going for next summer's finals, the draw for which is made in 13 days' time. A magnificent campaign, stunning, exhilarating, thrilling, intoxicating at times. It was electrifying, and Scotland are going to back-to-back European Championship finals. Bring it on. It finished here. Scotland 3, Norway 3.
Scotland